I'm going to play for you an actual ATC audio recording of an interaction between me and a controller at a Texas airport, and then I'm going to give you the context afterwards and explain what was happening during this transmission. And I'm also going to tell you why I felt like I needed to share it in this video. So here we go.
Ground heavy, we're going to be holding here on Echo Bravo for this push.
All right, and I'll make a call, and I'm sure you know how radios work. You heard me read a clearance. They're reading it back to me, and I didn't get any of it because you're calling me. Please stand by, and I'll be right with you. 850 Victor Papa, read it all again to me, please.
All right, he's going to come back to me again here in just a second.
Zero Victor Papa, read back is correct. Where you parked? Zero Victor Papa, let me know on this frequency once you're ready to taxi. All right, go ahead.
Holding on Echo Bravo for the aircraft pushing.
Okay, and then you're going in. I got you.
Okay, now I'm going to give you the context as to what was happening, where I was here, and it's not super relevant to what I want to emphasize in this video, but I want you to know because I want to hear your thoughts. I want to know what your impressions were on this interaction. So here we go. All right, it was a nice VFR day, and this was actually my first time ever flying into Houston's George Bush Intercontinental. We had just landed a heavy Airbus on 8 left, taxi down Foxtrot Hotel, then down Echo Echo, and we had been cleared in to the parking area, the parking ramp from Echo Bravo. However, we had noticed that there was another heavy aircraft that had just pushed back and was going to be needing to come out right through here. Now, it's very important to note that this ground controller was running 2 frequencies at the time. In addition to this ground frequency, he was running the clearance delivery frequency. And apparently, while my coworker and I were discussing the potential traffic conflict, he had just issued a clearance to another aircraft. And admittedly, I was not tuned in to that. As pilots, we do want to listen to the radios in a way where we can build a picture of what's going on for better situational awareness. But my ears had probably picked up that it was first of all, it was a Part 91 call sign, and we were on the ground waiting to park, so an aircraft receiving their IFR clearance when we're just waiting to park, there's no way there's going to be any sort of conflict where we need to know what that aircraft is going to be doing. So I was trying to do my job focused on what was ahead of our airplane. But with that said, again, I will take the hit on that, on the situational awareness. So I recognize why the controller would be frustrated with me, and I'll say that he even had a right to be frustrated with me. I recognize that he was trying to do a job, and he saw me as impeding his progress. Fair enough. But what do you guys think? Was that an acceptable professional response from a controller? And more importantly, how would you have handled it if you were the controller or the pilot? That's what I want to get to the bottom of, because with this being an intentional living channel, all we can do is control how we respond or react to a situation, right? And one of the hallmarks of being a professional is showing restraint, checking your emotions. And on an ATC frequency with aircraft moving around, there's no room for ego. It does not belong there. There's no reason why we should ever have an argument over the frequency with a controller, or if you're a controller with a pilot, even though my natural inclination was to snap back at him. Right? And 20 years ago, I likely would have done that. And I probably would have even brought his mom into the conversation as well, to be honest with you. Now I'm going to play it for you one more time here, and you could probably hear or sense in my response when he does call me back that I'm kind of gritting my teeth, right? And to be honest, I almost didn't give my call sign because I was just irritated. And so you can hear me kind of throw that in at the end because it was still the right thing to do. You're supposed to have your call sign in every transmission, right? So I did it. And I also wanted to ask you, what do you think of the tone in his voice when he clarifies why I was calling him? I have a theory of what was going on there, but I want to hear what you guys think.
Ground heavy, we're going to be holding here on Echo Bravo for this push.
All right, calling. I'm sure you know how radios work. You heard me read a clearance. They're reading it back to me, and I didn't get any of it because you're calling me. Please stand by, and I'll be right with you. 850 Victor Papa, read it all again to me, please. Zero Victor Papa, read back is correct. Where you parked? Zero Victor Papa, let me know on this frequency once you're ready to taxi. All right, go ahead.
Holding on Echo Bravo for the aircraft pushing.
Okay, and then you're going in. I got you.
So what'd you think? please leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts, and I will do my best to get back to people because I really want to have a discussion on this topic. I think it's an interesting topic. And hopefully nobody takes this as controller shaming. That was not the objective here. I just saw this as an opportunity to talk about how we're going to have our buttons pushed. In life, we're going to have these challenges, right? And we just need to be prepared. And be prepared to check our egos and show restraint, because if we do those things, we're always going to feel better ultimately in the end. It's always going to result in a better outcome. And that's it. Thanks for watching.